Hello, noble families and students. Today's math lesson is on lesson 11.5 in our math book, which is on page 649. So we're going to go ahead and get started on page 649. The title of today's math lesson is Measure Area, and our essential question says, how can you find the area of a plane figure? So in our last two lessons, we have discussed area and how to find area, but this lesson is going to go into a little bit more detail about how to find the area of a plane figure. For our first question, it says that Jamie is measuring the area of the rectangles with 1-inch square tiles. So Jamie has these three rectangles, rectangle A, rectangle B, and rectangle C. The materials you would need to try this activity at home if you'd like to do it, but you don't have to because I'm not going to be doing it here in this lesson. You would need 1-inch grid paper and you would need scissors. If you do not have 1-inch grid paper, you could still do this by having a ruler and measuring out some 1-inch squares. So you would take your ruler and you would measure and make sure each side is 1 inch long. So you'd measure 1 inch down, draw a line, 1 inch over, draw a line, 1 inch up, draw a line, and 1 inch on the top and draw your line to make your 1-inch squares. Then you would cut them out with your scissors. Okay. You also can find 1-inch grid paper at certain stores, and you would just then be able to cut out the squares without having to make them yourselves. Okay. But you don't need to do this. This is just something we would be doing at school, but we obviously have different circumstances that might not allow you to do this. So that's completely okay. What they want us to do for letter A is they want us to place 4 tiles on rectangle A. So they want us to place 4 of these on this rectangle. Before I even do that, think to yourself, is that going to work? Is 4 tiles, 4 of these, going to cover this whole rectangle? Okay. And let's show you exactly what we mean. So they've already given us some lines here to trace. So this is what we're going to do to show whether or not it can fit. Okay. So that right here, we see that this shape is the size of this shape. So that's our first square inch shape. All right. If we draw another line down here, now we have 2 of them. So let me go and number these, 1 and 2. And we want to get 4 of those in all. So they've gone ahead and they've made more lines here for us to trace. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And here's rectangle 3, and here's rectangle 4. So did our 4 rectangles, our 4 1-inch squares, did they cover our rectangle? And the answer, of course, is that they did not, because there's this in here, and there's this here that is not covered. So are there any gaps? Yes, there are. Are there any overlaps? So what they're asking is, did any of these squares overlap each other? Were they on top of each other? Are they not are they touching each other, but did they go over the lines? Okay, and there's not any overlaps here. An overlap would look something like this. If I had this rectangle, and I drew some squares, and we had something looking like this. That would be an overlap right here. Okay, the 2 lines of the 2 shapes are overlapping. Okay, Jamie says that the area is 4 square inches. Is Jamie's measurement correct? Is he correct in saying this is 4 square inches, this whole rectangle? Well, the answer, of course, is no, because we have some empty space that's not filled up. So he is not correct. All right, we're going to try letter B now. This time they want us to use 8 tiles to cover rectangle B. Okay, 8 tiles. So again, we're going to trace. So there's our first one. Number 1. Here's number 2. Okay. And then what the problem that we're going to have here is that when I go ahead and draw my next shapes, okay, we're going to notice something. So let me try and make one that's exactly this size. So I'm going to go over and down. And you're going to notice this is number 3. This is number 4. that these two shapes are about the same size, so I'm correct in drawing this, okay? But we're still only halfway done. So if I go ahead and do 5 and 6, I've filled up my shape now, but I still have to draw 2 more tiles. So that's where these lines come into play here. I kind of made this overlap. So there's 7, and there's 8 right here. All right, and there's a problem there, obviously. Obviously, we have a problem. Are there any gaps? Is there any space that's not filled up? No, everything's filled up. The whole shape is filled up with square tiles. Are there any overlaps? So do we have anything that looks like this? Yeah, right here in the middle, right? All of this is a bunch of overlaps. Okay? So are there overlaps? Yes. Jamie says that the area is 8 square inches. Is Jamie's measurement correct? Is this 8 square inches? Well, no, because we have overlaps. Okay? Let's go ahead and place 6 tiles on this shape now. And you're going to notice just from the lines that we're going to trace here that this is going to work out pretty well for us. Okay? So cutting this shape into those square tiles. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Did we leave any gaps on the paper? No, we did not. Are there any overlaps? No, there are not. Jamie says the area is 6 square inches. Is his answer correct? Yes, because there are no gaps and no overlaps. Okay, see, the problem with number 1 is that we had gaps. Problem with number 2 is that we had overlaps. This one, we don't have either of those problems, so his measurement is going to be correct. So the area of the rectangle is 6 square inches. Okay, let's move on to page 650. So on this question, which you can also try at home if you'd like, you would need green and blue paper and you would need scissors. Step 1 is to estimate the number of blue square tiles it will take to cover the gray figure. So how many of these will it take to cover this? Okay, what's our estimate? So just by looking at this last problem, right, we have a similar shape here covering what looks to be a smaller triangle. So this one was smaller, okay, and this one's a little bit bigger. So we know our answer is going to be bigger than 6, okay, and it should be an even number because part of the squares will fit on the top, part of them will fit on the bottom. We want the same amount on the top and bottom, which means it's going to be an even number. So a good guess, think about something that's a good guess here, and I'm going to go ahead and leave this blank because I want you to try and take the guess on your own. So think about how many of these is going to fit on here and put your guess down, and we'll see if you're correct at the end. Step 2, estimate the number of green tiles. So these are technically green, although on my screen on the left they look a little bit gray, but on this screen on my right it does look green. Okay, so how many of these will take to cover this figure? Okay, notice that this shape, if I drew it in here and I cut this shape, do you notice how this shape is about the same size as this one? So it'll take 4 of these to make up one of these. That might help you take your estimate for number 2. Okay, that might help you make your estimate. Hint: multiply your first estimate times 4. Okay, so the next thing they want us to go ahead and do is trace the blue square pattern 10 times and cut out the squares. So you would want to trace this on a paper, cut it out 10 times. All right, you want to trace the green square here 36 times and cut out the squares. So that would be a lot of work, but you could try it, or you can just do what I'm about to do. Okay, cover the gray figure with blue square tiles. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of take a good estimate here. Okay, and we're going to start here in the middle. We're going to go over, and I think that's about the size of the shape right there. All right, that looks pretty accurate. So that would mean the bottom is going to be, so far we have 1, 2. All right, let's keep going. think that looks about good there. So you can draw this on your paper at home, 3, 4. Okay. I'm going to go over a little bit more. We're going to go up. And we're going to go down. And there's 5 and 6. And we'll finish it off with 7 and 8. Not perfectly drawn, but I think you probably can agree with me that this shape is about the same size as these shapes. I didn't make any of these too big or too small. Okay, they're pretty close. So how many blue square tiles did we use? Well, we had 8 blue square tiles, and that would be 8 blue square units for our area. Okay, so compare that to whatever estimate you put here and see if you're correct. Okay, so now if I cover the gray figure with green square tiles, okay, think about what our answer is going to be. So instead of taking the time to go ahead and draw all those tiny shapes, I'm going to do what I did at the beginning here, which was noticing that this shape is the same as 4 of these. So I'm just going to cut these into fourths. And again, you can do the same thing at home if you want. So cutting these all into fourths, I can just draw my line across here, draw this down, draw this down. And we went from 8 shapes, 8 square units, to multiplying those times 4. So 8 times 4 will help give you my answer, or I can count it if I want. Okay, but we do have 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times 4 gives me 32 square units. So go ahead again and compare that to what your guess was for your green square tiles. And there's our answer. Okay? Our next question says, count to find the area of the figure. So each square is 1 square centimeter. There are blank unit squares in the figure. So we're going to count. They already started for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 unit squares, so our area is 17 square centimeters. Okay? We're also going to do page, check here, yeah. We're also going to do page 651 together. Okay, very simple. So again, we're doing the same thing we just did on the last problem. We're counting to find the area of the figure. Each unit square is 1 square centimeter. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are there any gaps? Are there any overlaps? No, there's not. We got 10 unit squares, which would mean 10 square centimeters, because each square is 1 square centimeter. Okay? All right, doing the same thing for problem 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Sorry, handwriting's getting a little sloppy here. And 20. So our area is 20 square centimeters. All right, number 3, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 square centimeters. All right, problem number 4. Count to find the area of the figure. Each unit square is 1 square inch. So this time we're talking about inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 square inches is our area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 square inches is our area. Okay, your assignment for lesson 11.5 is going to be to do page 653. That is the homework page. So make sure you're doing page 653. This is the one that I want a picture of attached to Google Classroom or sent to my Google Voice account. Okay, you can text it to me or attach it on Google Classroom. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for this problem on this page. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can skip 6. Okay. Questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are counting to find the area of the shape. Each unit square is 1 square centimeter. Number 1's already done for you. It's 14. Okay, they counted it out. And you can practice counting it out too. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's what you're doing for numbers 2, 3, and 4. Okay, number 5 says Alan is painting his deck gray. Use the diagram at the right for 5. Each unit square is 1 square meter. They want to know what is the area of the deck that Alan has already painted gray. So they don't want to know the whole area of the deck. They only want to know the area of the deck that he's already painted gray. So be careful with that. All right, that's it for today's video, 16-minute video. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Be happy to help. And other than that, have a great day. Mr. Koblenz, out.